I'm John. Welcome to San Francisco and Wednesday night Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA. Brought to you by your Southern California Land Rover retailers. Game 2 of 3 between the Dodgers and the Giants at Oracle Park. We welcome you inside. Joe Davis and Orel Hershiser. These teams at the top of the division meeting 7 times in 11 days, and the Giants have won 4 of the first 5, making these last 2 games of this series huge games for the Dodgers in the standings 3 back.
Yeah, when you're playing the tougher opponents, especially the ones in the National League West, it comes down to little things. And you think about what happens in the 8th inning last night. You've got 2 different throws, and all of a sudden the Giants execute one, cut down a runner at the plate, but the Dodgers did not. And when Cody Bellinger released the baseball into the netting along the left field side, that really changed this game completely. It felt like the momentum was over. The Giants bullpen got the job done, and that really moved the needle on where they are in the standings right now. The Dodgers are almost in a must-win right now.
Yeah, sitting 3 back of the Giants. They send Walker Buehler to the mound tonight, and in a season where that rotation has been depleted, Buehler's been the guy they've been able to count on at a high level every time he's taken it.
Yeah, and he's really dominated the Giants, and that is key tonight. And it's been about his fastball. That fastball at 95 plus, that's where the Giants are weak. They are a great fastball hitting club, but when it's up there in the higher velocities, and especially a guy who has a 6-pitch mix and can go to anyone at any time, he's going to have a good outing, I believe, and going toe-to-toe with a guy that has had an outstanding year, but not against the Dodgers. And the key with that ERA against the Dodgers is they hit the home run. They've hit 6 home runs off of them in 18 1/3 innings. They need to do that again tonight.
Anthony DeSclafani, borderline all-star this year. 13 home runs allowed total, and as you mentioned, 6 of those coming against LA. It's the Dodgers and the Giants, the middle game of this 3-game series. The Dodgers trying to get back to within 2 with August looming. We've got first pitch coming up on Sportsnet LA. All on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover dealers. Dodgers and Giants just about ready to go before first pitch in San Francisco. Here's Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Joe. Last night in the 1-run loss to the Giants, Dave Roberts told the media that right now the Giants are just doing the little things better. These are 2 teams that are equally talented, but right now it's just the Giants have the edge because they're taking advantage of the errors that we're seeing from the Dodgers. Of course, last night we saw the throwing error from Cody Bellinger that scored Buster Posey, and on that play, afterwards, Cody told us that while the ball somewhat kind of slipped out of his hands, it really was unacceptable from him, and he knows that he can execute that play when he needs to. Today, though, when Dave Roberts spoke to the media, I asked him, how do they have to adjust those little things and make them better? And he said that this is a core group of guys who've been playing with each other for a while, and they know they need to be more consistent, whether it's the quality of bats or the defense they're playing. But right now, Joe, there is a sense of urgency in the clubhouse. The guys are feeling it. They want to play better, and I think we will see better today in the field.
All right, Kirsten beat the Giants the first 4 head-to-head matchups this year, but the Giants have won 7 of the last 10, including 4 of the 5 in this little week-and-a-half stretch where they're meeting up a bunch. The Dodgers trying to even this series up at a game apiece, get back to within 2. 2 very big games for the Dodgers head-to-head with the Giants over these next 2 days in San Francisco, and then meeting up just one more time this year over first weekend in September as Anthony DeSclafani takes the ball for the Giants. And the Dodgers come to bat with this lineup from Dave Roberts, with Chris Taylor leading things off again. He's been one of the bright spots for LA recently. Muncy hits second, starts at second. Turner's at third. Will Smith bats cleanup with Cody Bellinger at first base again hitting 5th. And center field A.J. Pollock extended his on-base streak to 15 games last night. Matt Beatty with his first start of the series. And Billy McKinney, who drove in the Dodgers' lone run last night, in there again in right, hitting 8th. DeSclafani faced Buehler and the Dodgers last Thursday, gave up 3 runs over 6 innings, and we talked about those numbers against the Dodgers off the top. An ERA near 8. A little bit skewed. He gave up 10 runs in one game when he faced him in San Francisco. Outside of the games against the Dodgers, he's got a 1.78 ERA in what is turning into a career year for the 31-year-old.
Well, the Dodgers have kind of forced his hand with that really bad outing. They have forced him to get away from his fastball, away from his two-seamer, to throw more of his off-speed stuff. And I think again tonight, the effectiveness of the off-speed stuff will dictate how good an outing he has against the Dodgers.
Those 4 starts there, he's faced the Dodgers. They've gotten a bunch of hits against him. Most of them coming in that start on May 23rd. But as you look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud, here is the breakdown of those hits. And as you talked about during the pregame show, 6 home runs allowed to the Dodgers, 7 home runs allowed to the rest of baseball this year.
Well, off the heater and the two-seamer, the hard stuff, the Dodgers have really pounded it. A lot of those hits are on the fastballs. The off-speed stuff has done much better. And in the last start, the fastball got hit around. The off-speed stuff was about 100 points lower as far as the batting average against.
And so he almost just stopped throwing the hard stuff. In fact, for the first time in his 7 years in the majors, he was under 30% fastball usage. Chris Taylor climbs in. DeSclafani giving the signs from Buster Posey. Winds and deals, and off we go with a strike. Dodgers have dropped 6 of their last 9, including 4 or 5 to the Giants in that span. 61-41, 3 games back in the division. Giants are just 5-5 over their last 10, but they've gained a game in that time. On an 0-1, Taylor fouls it off. 0-2.
Interesting perspective right there from the behind home plate camera. You get to see that the batter's eye has that sun glare all over it. So advantage pitchers early on here until that shadow creeps across.
Taylor, who doubled in last night's game, watches a fastball miss inside. Double extended his hitting streak to 7 games. Average at .448 in that time. 5 home runs and 3 doubles. Even with the offensive struggles overall, Taylor has been a glowing bright spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Chris Taylor will be in there tomorrow. Buster Posey might not be. They've been resting him every 3rd day. The Giants trying to win a series. Dodgers still can win this series.
Taylor leading things off and chasing one in the dirt for the first out of the night.
I think that's the glare in center field. We have not seen a chase and a swing like this from Chris Taylor in a long time. That was a ball out of hand and continued to be a severe ball in the dirt. I just don't think he picked it up very well.
That's the pitch that opponents are hitting just 180 against for Anthony DeSclafani this year, and the pitch that he points to is the biggest reason for his bounce back year. After he had a 7.22 ERA last year in his final year in Cincinnati. Here's Muncy. Here's DeSclafani's first one to him. Muncy hits it in the air to left center field, sending Dickerson back onto the warning track with enough room. 2 up, 2 down in the first.
The Giant killer got close, but just missed it.
Not often we see him go after the first pitch. Here's Turner. The Dodgers only 5 runs over their last 3 games. Even with several guys hot. We talk about Taylor. A.J. Pollock's been one of the hottest hitters in the National League lately. Justin Turner's had a great month of July.
Dodgers had a 13-game home run streak snapped yesterday.
One 1-0 on Turner. And a 2-1 Giants win. Dodgers got their lone run and a base hit from Billy McKinney. At a 1-0 lead through 5 innings. Giants tied it in the 6th, won it in the 8th. 7 of the last 8 matchups between these teams have been decided by 2 or 1. One pitch. Turner pulls his hands in on a pitch that catches the corner. 1-2.
All 3 targets have been away. This one runs all the way in and just barely catches it. A lot of times you don't get that pitch.
He chases in a 1-2-3 first inning for Anthony DeSclafani on 10 pitches. Walker Buehler 6-0 with a 1.96 in his career against San Francisco. Pitching for the Dodgers on his 27th birthday when they need a win. Giants coming to bat for the first time tonight. Here's Gabe Kapler's lineup. There will be no Lamont Wade. This will be his turn to lead off with a right-hander on the mound, but Wade fouling the ball off his leg a couple times last night is out day to day. Yastrzemski bats lead off. Then Posey and Dickerson, Flores, Duggar, and Ruff. Jason Vossler's first start of the series, and Tyro Estrada at short. Happy 27th birthday, Walker Buehler, whose first pitch of the night is hit foul, and it's strike 1. Buehler's faced the Giants 4 times this year. 6+ innings, 0 or 1 run in all 4, including going 7 1/3 and giving up just 1 last Thursday against him.
He left the game at a 3-1 lead. He had DeSclafani with a hook in his mouth, but they both ended up with no decisions.
0-2.
Walker Buehler goes deep into the game. Average innings per start almost 6.5. And when you think about that, he's second in the National League. That'll give the bullpen a little break, especially going into a day game.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2 on Yastrzemski.
Not only is the Dodger ace right now, he is a road warrior, the best ERA on the road. And this is a nice pitcher's park, so really good to have him on the mound, especially in this big a game.
Fires a 1-2. Yastrzemski pops this one gently right side of the infield. Max Muncy puts it away, 1 gone. Bringing up Buster Posey. Did it again last night. 2 for 3 with a walk. He drove in a run to tie it. Scored the winning run. Continuing this remarkable comeback season. Second in the league in average at .327. Top 5 in the league in on-base plus slugging.
On pace for career highs. Average, on base, OPS. It's remarkable is right.
All a touch better than his MVP season in 2012. After he sat out last season, after he really struggled in 2018 and 19. Here's a 34-year-old putting it all together again. I don't know why he watches ball 1.
Doing it with a couple adjustments in his batting stance. The bat's a little bit more upright. The hands are a little bit more closer to the strike zone and really don't leave and get wrapped around his helmet and his ear. Stance, as far as the hips and the feet, a little bit more closed.
Soft bouncing ball to Turner at third. 2 up and 2 down for Walker Buehler. Comes in tied for 3rd in the National League with the guy that he's facing tonight with those 10 wins. 10-1. The lone loss for Buehler. Took a combined no-hitter from the Cubs to tag him with an L. ERA 2.31 is 5th in the league. And those numbers have gotten better and better as this year has gone on. Comes home to Alex Dickerson with strike 1. You know, in a year where, like we talked about during the pregame show, the Dodgers are just 3-7 against San Diego. They're now 7-7 against the Giants, having lost 4 of the last 5. Buehler is the guy they've been able to count on in the big games, in all the games. But you look at the game specifically against the 2 teams they're in the race with. Buehler in 6 starts is 2-0 with a 1.58 ERA. He's gone 6+ and given up 2 or fewer in all 6 of those games against the Giants and the Padres. Here's his 0-2.
And overall, the whole season, his support from the offense has been good, but not in those competitions.
Another 0-2 offering. Breaking ball gets him swinging and finishes off a 1-2-3 first for Walker Buehler. Off and rolling in San Francisco. Smith, Bellinger, and Pollock coming up.
Keys to the game brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers. Get to the starter. DeSclafani, in his wins has an ERA under 1, close to 6 in his losses. No unearned runs. The Dodgers have the most in the major leagues, and that's what hurt them last night. And productive outs, when you don't have the complete lineup healthy, you're going to have to move people around.
Base hit in the first, pitch of the second from Will Smith. Leadoff man aboard.
It is supposed to be probably a slider, but it looks like a cutter. He's throwing that firm.
Now Bellinger scored the lone Dodger run last night after getting his first hit against the Giants this year. Comes up empty on a first pitch fastball. Well, you mentioned the slider looking like a cutter from DeSclafani. He's also started to work in a curveball, which he'd been throwing less than 10% of the time over the first few months of the year, but he's used it more and more lately. And they charted each of the strikeout pitches in that first inning as curveballs. 0-2 on a pair of heaters to Bellinger. So, I mean, the cat and mouse game of having to see a team for a 5th time and having to see a team that has hit you pretty darn well. Good time to find a new wrinkle. Back-to-back fastballs to Bellinger. See what he goes with on 0-2. It's another fastball that misses. Dodgers need Cody Bellinger to be better. An offense without Betts, without Seager. Bellinger checking in at just 163. Waiting in a 1-2. And fouls it off to stay alive. As disjointed as it's all been, and it has over the last year, from the surgery to the slow buildup to the fractured leg to the hamstring injury. Yes, all that's happened and has made it difficult. Well, now you got 2 months left in a very tight division race. And the former MVP, they're going to lean out. He's down swinging here. One gone in the second.
High fastball away, high fastball in. Definitely a place the league likes to go against Bellinger.
1-on-1 out. Here's A.J. Pollock. So they've had Bellinger struggle, and they've had no Betts, they've had no Seager. Guys like Chris Taylor and A.J. Pollock have carried the load. Pollock has reached in 15 games in a row after a double last night, and his average in that time is 400. He leads the National League in slugging percentage here in July. On an 0-1, Pollock takes strike 2.
First inning, all off speed, recorded the outs for DeSclafani. The fastball got Bellinger, and that fastball right there took the count to 0-2. I'd be surprised with the track record against the Dodgers and A.J. Pollock that he doesn't throw something breaking here.
He does. Pollock takes it. Ball 1.
So we've seen a breaking ball at 90 that's kind of looked like the shape of a cutter, and we just saw one right there that looks like the shape of a slider. 85, that'll be interesting what the charting service starts to do if he's made some adjustments in his arsenal.
31-year-old out of Freehold, New Jersey, who wanted to come to the Giants, hoping that they could do for him what they did for Kevin Gausman, what they did to a lesser extent for Drew Smyly a year ago. They're taking DeSclafani, who at times in his career has been very good. 5 years in Cincinnati. And when he was healthy, there were some times where he was a top 2 or 3 pitcher in that rotation. But a year ago, a 7.22 ERA as he dealt with a back issue. He missed almost 2 full years prior to that with an elbow injury. Rehabbed that without having Tommy John, but just wasn't right. And now on a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Giants, having this career season. Smith at first, one gone, a 2-2 to A.J. Pollock. Fouled off Posey.
Got a large chunk of Buster in the right square, knocking paint chips off his mask.
Saw even DeSclafani kind of bend over like, oh no.
It winced a little bit for him. Sympathy pains.
Smith started the inning with a single. He's at first. Bellinger struck out. Another 2-2 to Pollock. His poke the other way. That's the second hit of the inning. And they're at first and second with one gone. As Pollock extends the on-base streak to 16 games.
What's interesting about DeSclafani's slider looking like a cutter here tonight is the Dodgers are hitting just .229 off of cutters this year. That's 14th in the National League. In July, they are dominating the slider. So there might have been some adjustment from the front office as far as the data analysis of maybe giving a suggestion to DeSclafani, and he's being open to it because of how he's been dominated by the Dodgers.
First and second for Beatty, who has homered against DeSclafani in his career. Pops the first one softly into shallow center. And an easy play for Steven Duggar, 2 gone. Here's Billy McKinney. Drove in his first run as a Dodger last night. Their only run of the game. Made it 1-0 in the 5th inning. 3 hits, 4 walks in his 5 games with the team. Well, if the Dodgers come back and win the division, the Mets hang on to first in the East, the Brewers hang on to first in the Central, Billy McKinney would become the first player ever to play for all 3 division champs in the same year.
Three shots to get a ring.
Yeah. It's like having all the best squares on Super Bowl Sunday.
And 3 shares, playoff shares. Get a quarter share from them. We get a quarter share from them.
Not too shabby.
A little quarter share from them.
Smith at second, Pollock at first. Here's a 1-1. McKinney lofts it to left. On comes Dickerson. He'll put it away and end the inning. Dodgers get a couple singles, but nothing to show for it. Middle 2, no score.
The defending world champs take on the Houston Astros for a 2-game series beginning on August 3rd, and you won't want to miss it. Score your tickets at Dodgers.com/tickets, where they just start at $35.
No score to the bottom of the second in San Francisco, where the Dodgers try to even this series at 1 game apiece and set up a chance at a series win tomorrow with a day game. As David Price faces Johnny Cueto at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Road trip will continue on to Arizona from there. Buehler went 1-2-3 in the first. Wilmer Flores batting cleanup tonight, takes ball 1. Flores 0 for 4 last night, but on the year against the Dodgers hitting .324 with a pair of home runs in 9 games. He's played third base most days with Longoria out. He's at second tonight. And he takes a strike, 1-1.
9 for 10 Buehler is with the hard stuff. The 4-seamer, the 2-seamer. Already a lot of strikes.
cutter to the corner. And he would tell you that pitch has been the biggest key to this great run for him. Last start, he threw it more than a quarter of the time. It was the second highest usage this year. The Giants went just 1 for 8 against it. His 1-2 is a slider down and away for ball 2.
3 different pitches got him 3 different outs in the first inning. The fastball, the sinker, and the curveball recorded the outs. The curveball for the strikeout. A little off on his rhythm right there. As many good pitches as he's thrown already, he'll find it.
There's 3-2 to Flores as a fastball poked foul. And he certainly did find it right on the corner with 96. You touched on it. It's a very good fastball hitting team the Giants have, but those higher velocity fastballs relative to the rest of the league, they're not very good. Another 3-2 and a leadoff walk.
He's been able to lock in on that outside corner to righties. There's one good thing about that. You have a foundational pitch or area. The other bad thing is the hitters start to get a read on when it's on the plate and when it's off the plate.
Here's Steven Duggar, who has a home run against Buehler this year. One of the few blemishes in his starts against San Francisco. He's faced him 4 times, 2-0 with a 1 ERA this year. Given up just 3 earned runs in 27 innings against him. One of those 3 runs came on a long ball from Duggar. Who on this 1-0 pitch takes a strike. One and two.
Very confident with the fastball against the Giants. Almost arrogant with it right now.
$15 of the 21 pitches he's thrown so far have been fastballs. Fires a 1-2. Sticks with the hard stuff and rips it through the heart of the plate for strike 3. Duggar stood there like a house by the side of the road, and Buehler has his second K.
We almost get to the point as a hitter that he's got to start mixing in something else. This guy's got 6 pitches.
If Dodger pitchers strike out 10 tonight, everybody gets a jumbo jack tomorrow. 17 of the 22 he's thrown have been fastballs. And here's Darren Ruff, whose OPS this year is second only to Buster Posey in the Giants offense. Guess what? Fastball, strike.
Darren Ruff's bat's almost like military appreciation. It looks like it's got a camo finish to it. When he brings it up, look at this finish of this bat.
You're right.
Can hide that in the forest. You can't find it.
Is that the natural green of the wood?
It might be a very heavy flame treated bat. And some of the areas of the wood just kind of took to the burn a little more.
Because you obviously can't have pine tar up there.
No.
That's George Brett.
Yeah, that's a heavy flame treat, I think.
Gets in on him. Sharply hit to short. 6-4-3. And a double play for Walker Buehler to end a scoreless second. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Grab the new BLT Ranch sandwiches at Carl's Jr. and feed your happy. No score. Top 3. Joe, Orel, and Kirsten back in San Francisco, where the Dodgers got a couple of hits against DeSclafani in the second, but didn't score. 9-1-2 coming up here. Strike on Walker Buehler.
Walker trying to break the pitcher slump. They are 0 for their last 16 with 13 Ks.
Big old bounce right side. DeSclafani cuts it off and hits rough in the bag. Buehler's the first out of the third. That's normally that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the pitching staff's been so good offensively, relatively speaking, this year. It's a bit of a surprise.
Sure is.
Second time through the lineup begins with Chris Taylor, who struck out his first time and uncharacteristically chased the pitch way off of the plate and in the dirt. You pointed out perhaps a result of the glare on those center field bleachers. First inning or two of the game. Also perhaps a result of DeSclafani breaking out a curveball that he only throws once every 10 pitches usually. First one to Taylor is a fastball up 1-0.
He's almost like an option quarterback right here. Taking it around the end, feed it back.
You get benched for that. Never throw across your body late. 1-1.
The young man in Kansas City does pretty good.
That's true. He defies all logic.
Oh my God.
Patrick Mahomes, whose dad was a big league baseball player.
I played with him.
Did you?
When I was on the Mets.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes.
1-1 to Taylor. Comes back into the zone. Change up 1-2. Pat's son could have played baseball too.
I'm sure. Watching him on the football field, he could have done a lot.
In fact, there was some thought that was what his future was in. Even early on at Texas Tech, it was like, yeah, this guy's a fun college quarterback, but better future in baseball if he decides to go that route. Good take on a cutter, like slider. 2-2.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants went next level as far as pitch selection and pitch design for this particular outing.
One away in the third. 2-2 to Chris Taylor. Is fouled off. We'll do it again. Anthony DeSclafani, who has 2 complete game shutouts this year. Did it to the Rockies in April. Did it in Washington in June. Gave up just 2 hits in that one. 10-3 with a 287 overall this year. Former draft pick of the Blue Jays out of the University of Florida. And he got traded twice. Blue Jays traded into the Marlins in a 12-player deal. Included Mark Burley, Josh Johnson, Jose Reyes. Traded from the Marlins to the Reds after that for Matt Latos. Debut came right before that trade from the Marlins to the Reds, and it actually came against the Dodgers in 2014 at Dodger Stadium. And he won that debut. Got 10 runs of support. Miami scored 10 off Paul Maholm in that game. DeSclafani looking for his first win against the Dodgers since. Full count on Taylor. He's gone 0-7 with a .651 since winning his debut. On the 8th pitch from him, Taylor fouls it off. There'll be a 9.
Both these starting pitchers are making a lot of high-quality pitches. The lighting has now changed for the hitters, so you're seeing some longer battles.
just taken low. DeSclafani gets squeezed there, and Taylor has a walk. First one issued by DeSclafani.
Buehler's walk to Flores was definitely a ball. This one is definitely a strike. Both teams get a walk.
Jim Wolf calling balls and strikes tonight.
And he's been very good up until that pitch.
So one out base runner for Max Muncy, who flied to left his first time. Attacked the first pitch from DeSclafani, which only 2 hitters in the National League swing at the first pitch, less than Muncy. He's trying to ambush him. This time he takes a strike. Second in the National League behind Juan Soto on on-base percentage. He's 4th in slugging. And if it wasn't for Fernando Tatis going out of his mind pretty much all year for the Padres, you could have a conversation about Muncy and the MVP topic. DeGrom before the injury issues. Tatis leading the league in home runs and steals. On a 1-1 pitch, Muncy watches strike 2.
Jim Wolf behind the plate maybe has missed 1 out of 65 pitches. It's pretty good. Really good. We usually have a lot more disagreement, the electronic strike zone, compared to the human behind the plate.
Muncy, who has 2 home runs against DeSclafani. There's Taylor at first, 1 gone. Waiting on this 1-2. Line drive, base hit, center field. BB back through the middle off of the bat of Muncy. And the Dodgers, for the 2nd inning in a row, have 2 base runners with 1 out.
Second, they set the table with a couple of base hits. Now a borderline walk and a line drive from Max Muncy. Nice job getting down there and getting under that.
First and second, 1 away for Justin Turner, who struck out his first time. That was Turner's first strikeout in 9 days. That went over the heart of the plate and slapped it foul.
Little slider slash cutter right there that didn't really move enough to get down to Justin's barrel.
So it backs up inside, and it's 1-1. The Dodgers, those 5 runs over the last 3 games, 4 of them coming off 4 solo home runs. They're 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position over the last 4 games. It's not very many opportunities. The 1-1 pitch. Wide to right. Towards the line goes Yastrzemski. Won't get there. It bounces in and gives the Dodgers the lead. Justin Turner drives home Chris Taylor. And it's 1-0 on a Turner base hit here in the 3rd. Well, Yastrzemski was shaded towards the gap, had a long way to go, and even though that thing was in the air for a while, couldn't get there.
He jams Justin, but he is a very good 2-strike hitter and a very good opposite field hitter. And this one, Chris Taylor does a nice job reading this ball. He's on second, had a good angle on it, and took off in plenty of time.
So 3 straight base runners to start the second time through the lineup for the Dodgers against DeSclafani. Will Smith now takes in the dirt. Good block by Posey with Muncy now at third. Smith singled his first time. It's one of the 4 hits through 2 1/3 against DeSclafani.
Well, first time through the order with the bad lighting, Dodgers struck out 3 times. Now second time through the order, they have made contact in 2 out of 3, and the other one was a walk.
So what you're saying is being able to see the ball is important when you're trying to hit it.
Yeah, it's a little more important than people think, maybe. And also the counts are different. You know, they're battling, they're fouling balls off, and all of a sudden the pitch counts are going up. The year I was 19-3 in '85, I had 5 o'clock starts on the West Coast.
Oh, baby.
That's what my ERA was, 2.03. It's like they can't see the ball for the first 3 innings.
Oh, nice catch. Smith broke his bat. We'll get a new one for this 1-2 count.
So 6:45 start. You think about 5 o'clock starts on ESPN for the East Coast. It's 3 innings, 3.5 innings of they don't know what's coming.
The hidden numbers behind the surface level numbers.
Probably those 15 innings or so. I'm not sure I gave up a run.
Did you go particularly fast to get as much of the game as you could in that lighting?
Of course.
Yeah. First and third one gone. A 1-2 coming. Smith watches. Ball 2. A hair off of the edge. Chance for the Dodgers to put up a crooked number here.
Productive outs are necessary when your offense has been struggling. At least get 1 out of this situation.
Full count.
And I mean 1 more. They've already gotten 1, but get that guy in from third.
Bellinger on deck, then Pollock. Walk from Taylor. Singles from Muncy and Turner. They're the men at the corners now. DeSclafani to Smith with the 3-2 pitch. Fastball driven to right center field towards the gap. That'll split it. Will Smith with extra bases. Muncy in to score easily. Turner's headed for the plate. He'll score. Smith on his way to third with a triple. And the Dodgers lead 3-0. Into Triples Alley, and it produces just that.
Fastball away, and boy, does he stay on it and drive this baseball. That is not doing too much with it. That is just hitting it where it's pitched and hitting it about as good as you can. And wow, the deflection off the corner there. Just caroms it towards right field and makes it an easy triple.
First time the Dodgers have scored multiple runs in an inning since Friday. Our first game against Colorado. Boy, what a big hit for Will Smith. It's nice to get the lead, but they've had leads. And the tight leads have not been enough lately. So they get 3 here in the third at least. Still just 1 gone with Smith in third and Bellinger coming up. Second triple for Smith this year. Second triple of his career.
He's now 6 for 10 against DeSclafani.
Oh. Bellinger struck out his first time. Fouls off, strike 1.
Well, it's a perfect situation for Belly to kind of continue coming out of his slump. Man on third, less than 2 outs. You just need to kind of put it in play. Infield slightly back on the right, but I would think the Dodgers are going to make the ball go through, so get it in the air. Or a ground ball to the cultural norm of where the shortstop plays would be a base hit.
No 1-2.
Dodgers haven't hit the curveball from DeSclafani, but they're hitting over 500 against everything else.
High fastball is fouled back.
A little better approach on that high fastball from Cody right there. The swing wasn't as aggressive, and he really tried to keep the barrel above the ball. Family divided, maybe. Your guys are ahead, but we're going to come back.
Thanks for some tough, stressful dinners this time of year these days. A lot of stress lately. 7 meetings in an 11-day span between these teams, and then just 3 more in September. Dodgers won the first 4. Giants have won 7 of the last 10, though. 63-37, best record in the league. Dodgers hitting 3 games back, 61-41. Smith the third one away. 1-2 pitch to Cody Bellinger is a fastball, and it's again hit foul. Stick him with a high pitch. This one 89.
Did you see that? That was a 3 as far as the sign from Posey, which is the slider sign, and he gave an up target. So they are designing that pitch to be a cutter.
Yeah. The velocity's gone up on it last couple of starts. He was run 87 early this year. 89-90 the last couple. 2-2. Pop fly. Not deep. Yastrzemski. Round number 2. So they've gotten 3 against DeSclafani here in the third. They've driven the pitch count around 60 in 3 innings. In an attempt to get into that bullpen a little earlier. The bullpen for the Giants in their 4 wins out of these 5 games last week has been perfect. No runs in 16 innings in those 4 games. 2 gone for A.J. Pollock. Strike 1. Anthony DeSclafani needed just 2 pitches to get Walker Buehler to open this inning. Took him 27 pitches to get the second out. A walk and then 3 hits. With Smith at third and 2 out, here's an 0-1. In the dirt, backhand pick by Posey.
If I was on the bench with the Dodgers right now, I'd be saying, guys, look, we're 3 games out of first place, but in 20 hours we could be 1 game out. Let's get the job done.
I mean, it's never a must-win game in July, but as close to a must-win as you can get in July. You got to figure these 2 qualify.
Just the whole year, the season is so long, and you just got to keep injecting a positive narrative, and you got to verbalize it on the bench. That's what creates the camaraderie and the team momentum. And Dave Roberts and this coaching staff is so good at that. Justin Turner, so good at that. And it's something you always got to be thinking about, the glass half full. And especially because these last 10 games or so, they've struggled. You know, it's been a portion of time where you can actually make up ground, and you've lost a little, and you've lost some opportunities. But whatever you've lost in the next 20 hours, they can be one game out of first.
2-2 to Pollock. Chopper up the middle. That'll pierce it and get into center field to make it 4-0. A.J. Pollock scores Will Smith with a 2-out base hit. He's 2 for 2. And the Dodgers, who hadn't scored multiple runs in an inning in a few days, have a 4th spot in the 3rd.
For the last 15 games, A.J. Pollock has had 12 extra base hits. But right here, a couple of singles. The second one drives in a run and adds that 4th run. And wow, does that pick up the Dodgers and Cody Bellinger.
The bullpen already working. Jose Alvarez warming in a hurry. Beatty with 2 gone. One and 0.
I can tell you this too, there's nothing more fun than playing significant baseball games. There's the schedule, and then there's the parts of the schedule that are even more fun.
A lot of guys talked after last night's game about how much this felt like a playoff atmosphere last night.
Especially when the crowd got into it about the 6th inning.
To Matt Beatty, very high. Runner takes off, throw down, won't get him. A.J. Pollock swipes it back.
Using some of those center fielder legs. Dave Roberts said, I like the way A.J. is moving, putting him out there in a natural position for him. Center field, resting Cody Bellinger's legs, letting him play some first base. And Pollock showing off some wheels, getting himself into scoring position.
A 3-0 is very high. A 4-pitch walk for Matt Beatty. 6 base runners in the inning against DeSclafani. 2 walks, 4 hits. And here comes Gabe Kapler. The Dodgers had scored 5 runs over their last 3 games. They score 4 here in the 3rd. And once again, providing a nightmare for Anthony DeSclafani, who leaves the game with 2 out in the 3rd.
Predict the longest home run down the stretch with MLB Moonblast Pick'em, presented by FTX, and compete to win $100,000 worth of Bitcoin or cash. Restrictions apply. See the rules and enter at MLB.com/Pick'em.
Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out. Anthony DeSclafani goes just 2 2/3 already into the Giants bullpen. Jose Alvarez, who's given up a run in just 1 of his last 18 games. One of the many guys that has turned it on the last month or 2 for the Giants pen. Sound with runners at first and second. Billy McKinney at the plate. 9th man to bat in this frame. To think it started with a harmless ground out on 2 pitches. DeSclafani getting Buehler. Then a walk, 3 straight hits. The key one, Will Smith's triple. Fly out of Bellinger, another base hit for Pollock. Walk for Beatty spells the end. On a wild pitch, McKinney swings and misses, 1-1.
4 of the 6 hits the Dodgers have gotten, DeSclafani was not able to put guys away. They were with 2 strikes.
The offense breaking through in a big way here in the third. You hope the pitching can keep doing what it's done really over the last week. Even though the record is only around 500, pitching has been exceptional. Last 3 games, they've given up 4 runs total. And they've got their man on the mound tonight, Walker Buehler. Faced the minimum through 2, giving up just a walk. And it started with his ground out. He's on deck again. The 1-2. Chopper to second. Flores throws him out and ends the inning. But the Dodgers, who had scored 5 runs over their last 3 games, get 4 here in the third.
Welcome back to Oracle Park. Yesterday we saw Mookie Betts on the field doing some work with the trainers, really making sure that hip irritation is not bothering him anymore. Afterwards, Dave Roberts spoke to the media telling us that Mookie had his best day. He's really feeling so much better. The hip irritation is slowly going away, but he's on the right track. Today he told us that the timeline is really looking good. The activation could be on Sunday, right when his IL stint is over, so we could see him in the lineup against the Diamondbacks.
All right, Kirsten, and also there's a chance Corey Seager returns as early as this weekend in Phoenix. Jason Vossler leads off this third, takes ball 1 from Walker Buehler. Clayton Kershaw came out feeling good from yesterday's simulated game, and they're eyeing the weekend series against the Angels August 7th as a possible return for Kershaw. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jason Vossler. Bottom third of the order against Buehler. And a 4-0 game here in the third. Nice lead they've staked their dominant right-hander to. He's given up 3 runs in 29 innings against the Giants this year. He's got a 4-run lead here. Shift on with a 1-2 count on Vossler. Buehler deals. Vossler takes a ball. 2-2.
Looking for that shutdown inning. Plenty of rest with a low pitch count. You just don't want rest to turn into rust. A little over 27 minutes between pitches to start this inning.
Fabian Ardaya wrote an article about Walker Buehler in The Athletic. Came out either yesterday or today, talking about how much Walker Buehler has throughout his career embraced being the guy. That's a ground ball up the middle, fielded by Justin Turner to throw Vossler out. He's always talked about loving pitching in the big games. This year, more the focus has been on the games in between the big games, making sure that he consistently is like the Walker Buehler of October. He's accomplished that. 19 of his 20 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. But while he's done that and been good in the quote-unquote normal games, he has continued in the biggest games to be the Walker Buehler that we've seen throughout October in recent years. Cherishes opportunities like this when his team really needs him. Pours in a strike to Thairo Estrada.
The guys that are wired like Walker don't need anything to get up for a big game. They need it for the average game on the schedule. When you are locked in, focused, he can get into a big game and a bomb could go off next to him and he wouldn't even hear it. He's just so focused and locked into what he needs to do. Almost needs to find something to get angry about in the normal games.
Swing and a miss on a slider, 1-2 on Estrada.
You can't use the same stimulus all the time, as we might get to see that guy soon.
Chance that Crawford comes back tomorrow. Buehler kicks and deals, and Estrada fouls it off the glove. Stays at 1-2. Buehler says his ability to pitch in big games and pitch in tough spots goes back to his time at Vanderbilt, where they used to practice it. They'd put the pitchers on the mound, they'd load the bases around them, and immediately they'd put them in these high leverage spots and learn to pitch through traffic. So the first time he really practiced handling failure, facing failure.
Well, he also did it with half an arm. the ligament starting to fail in his elbow and not telling anybody and pitching through pain. So you can pitch through pain in tough situations in huge games in college. That could be a nice callus for when your elbow's fixed and you're in the big leagues.
Curveball taken in the dirt, 2-2. Then early on in his career, the postseason in Atlanta, where he gave up the grand slam to Ronald Acuna. He said getting that experience under his belt, he no longer has any kind of fear of failure. He's been there before, and not much rattles him at this point. Estrada gets up on top of this one, liner to left, caught by Beatty.
Batista hitting from Estrada. A good route from Beatty out there. The swing, and then you've got to just watch that spin, and the top spin on that ball, because he got so far on top of it, can fool you as an outfielder, but he read it just in time.
Jose Alvarez, as the Giants try to piece this together with a bullpen, but their starter not making it through 3. And a hit for himself. He figured in the last out at the top of this inning. Eased it in there, even the count, 1-1. One and two. Two and two.
Walker just wants to get on the rubber and let's get this over with. Let's go. Getting all the hitters out. I should be able to get you out pretty quickly.
Any chance he's swinging?
Probably not. Find some strike rhythm, throw a strike, and get it over with.
Oh, man, he walks the reliever.
That's a little bit of the focus that we talked about compared to regular season, compared to big games and playoff games. It's just a tad of lack of focus, right to the edge, and yeah, he just barely missed, but we didn't get it done.
Kind of a microcosm of that idea.
Exactly.
Right? Back to the top, and Yastrzemski, who popped out gently to open the game against Buehler. Top of the zone here with a cutter, strike one. Yastrzemski with that first inning pop out is 0 for his last 15 with 9 strikeouts. His last hit last Thursday, a triple against Buehler. There's change that fades in there. Season high 9 of those in his last start. Simply showing that he owned a changeup early on this year was an accomplishment. But he's working that in more and more. 0-2.
Yastrzemski has struggled with the off-speed stuff, and he hasn't hit for the same amount of power. It's starting to come on a little bit.
Fouls off another breaking ball.
Almost hit it out of Will Smith's glove. Just an emergency swing on that breaking ball that was finding the strike zone. Look at all the pitches that walking the reliever cost Walker.
At this point, at least 5 more.
Plus the misses to Alvarez.
Right. That was a 6-pitch at bat. Now these 5. Fly ball, right field. Bottom line, no damage done. Caught by McKinney. Walker Buehler up 4-0 through 3. champion. Dodger baseball on Spectrum Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. Our $6.99 triple bacon cheesy jack combo is here, only at Jack in the Box. Dodgers at the 4th spot and 3rd to chase Anthony DeSclafani. 4-0 to the 4th. And our junior Dodger of the game is Eli. Favorite player is Albert Pujols. To join junior Dodgers for a chance to be the junior Dodger of the game, visit Dodgers.com/JRDodgers. That's a big bat Eli's got. Slugger. Alvarez back to pitch. Kirk Casale is checked into the game at catcher. A couple things come to mind. There's that foul tip square off his mask. And you hope he's okay from that. But then the other thing is maybe you can essentially punt on at least Posey's production from the catcher spot and bring him back tomorrow.
I think that's where it's going to end up. That's a strategy that I could see them using for sure.
Buehler started last inning with a ground out. 0-2 on him here.
David Price against Johnny Cueto tomorrow.
12:30. "2014 is buckled up with the popcorn, ready to watch like the 2 greatest pitchers in the world." Price really has been good since moving into the rotation for the Dodgers. Getting built up. Buehler down on strikes, 1 gone in the 4th. And back to the top for Chris Taylor. Cueto a couple years removed from Tommy John surgery. Hasn't quite been the same. But always fun to watch Johnny Cueto pitch. Final season of his deal with the Giants, at least final guaranteed year. Got a team option on him for next year. Taylor started the 4-run rally last inning with a walk. Outside corner, strike 1. Padres already played today, got rolled by the A's 10-4 the final in San Diego's. Blake Snell gave up 7 runs in 4 innings. So the Dodgers lead the Padres by 3. Giants now lead the Padres by 6. Padres were in on Joey Gallo, who is going to the New York Yankees.
Pull it down the line when he's at home.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, scary thought. Yankees desperate for a left-handed bat. Good one they found there.
You know, with Casale in there, I was thinking Buster Posey also could play first tomorrow. Rick Krajewski looked up. He hasn't played an inning at first. Hasn't started there. Hasn't played an inning.
He says it's in an odd way kind of hard on his body because he uses muscles that shut off. And
that he hasn't used very much.
Right. Taylor down looking. 2 gone in the 4th on a pair of Alvarez Ks.
Yeah, catching is a little bit more front to back, kind of going front forward and bending your knees forward, where first base you're bending them forward, yeah, but then you're breaking left or right a lot compared to what catchers have to move.
Those side glutes.
Yeah, the IT bands. Let's go deep.
That foam roller out.
Exactly.
Those things loosen.
Oh, and they hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good pain.
Muncy. Ball 1.
Yeah, if you're having back pain, get the foam roller out on the sides of your legs.
A lot of times back pain is because something else is wrong.
Yep.
One ball, 1 strike on Muncy. Is 1 for 2 with a base hit and a run scored last inning. Swatted towards left, down the line. It'll sink in for a base hit. Muncy's 2nd knock of the night, and the inning kept alive for Turner.
Alvarez has a cutter and a slider. This is an up-breaking ball of some sort. He just kind of stays with it. Looks like it's a high slider. They wanted it down. Gets it off the end of the bat. But again, with these Dodgers that are hot, they get the plane of the bat to match the plane of the ball. So it doesn't always matter if they don't hit it hard.
One of the first adopters of that theory in the modern game, Justin Turner. The bat to match the plane of the pitch.
Makes him a great two-strike hitter and a great breaking ball hitter. Hits the barrel below the breaking ball and swings up at it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ball, 2 strikes. Turner takes it low. Count evens up. Dodgers have 4 runs on 7 hits. Will Smith, who waits on deck, has 2 of them. Turner on 2-2. Pops it up. And it falls harmlessly.
Remember Justin's hit right down the right field line that dropped in. So how far do they have to run to get to that one? With the defense they're playing for him in the outfield. Pollock swiped the bag with 2 outs. Alvarez checking on Muncy.
Muncy at first, 2 gone. A 2-2 to Turner. Wrapped on the ground to third. It's off of Vossler, and everybody's safe. Giants, who've been one of the best defensive teams in baseball this year, opening the door for another 2-out chance here.
Dodgers failed on the little things last night. Giants already down by 4, but this could cost them maybe some insurance runs the Dodgers are looking for.
With Smith coming up, 2 for 2 with a 2-run triple as last time, and 7 for 12 with runners in scoring position since the break. Put it all together, 10 games in the second half. Will Smith has 4 home runs, 16 RBIs in 10 games. Two on, 2 out, 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's white hot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For a whole season, that's like 200 RBI pace.
Yeah, that's good pace. Look out, Hack Wilson.
Exactly. What's that? 196, 192, right in there. I don't think there's a 2 in front of it. I think it's like 190 something.
191.
191. Mm-hmm. All over it, all around it.
We had it circled. Ground ball to short, and Estrada down to a knee to get it. And they get Turner at second to end the inning. 4-0 Dodgers to the bottom of the 4th.
all-new Backstage Dodgers. We take a look at Dodgers' top pitching prospect, Josiah Gray's spring training preparation, his arrival in Los Angeles, and his Major League debut against the Giants. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers on Friday, presented by Cadillac.
Kirk Casale leads off this inning for the Giants against Buehler. And a first pitch curveball rake foul. So now a couple Vandy guys on the lineup for the Giants against a Vandy guy on the mound and Buehler. Yastrzemski leading off. You've got Casale in there for Posey. Casale, after hitting 104 over the first 2 months, went on the injured list for a wrist injury for a couple weeks. 351 in the month and a half since coming back. And a hole here, though, as Buehler turns and fires an 0-2. And strikes him out with the high fastball. The third for Buehler, one gone in the fourth.
Breaking ball, fastball away, and then high cheese. Tough to catch up to Buehler's cheddar.
Dickerson struck out his first time. First pitch breaking ball. Into the shift. Taylor. 2 up and 2 down. Maybe this is a stupid question. I'm going to ask it anyways. Any idea where cheese as fastball came from?
High cheese, cheddar, curveball, Uncle Charlie. You know what?
It's not like cheese is hot or
not ringing a bell. It's got to be on the internet somewhere.
Oh, everything is.
But who knows if it's the truth?
We'll get to the bottom of it, I promise you. Slow curve in there for a strike on Flores.
They walked Alvarez, the relief pitcher. Had to battle Yastrzemski, but now this inning trying to really bring that pitch count back into order.
The Giants still looking for their first hit against him. Oh, 2 up the middle base hit. Well, Flores with a 2-out knock here in the fourth. First one of the game for the Giants. And the inning kept alive for Duggar.
Somebody else jinxed it because we didn't mention it.
I actually literally did the pitch before.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's on your partner.
You have so much power.
Feeling good.
Next year, the Star Wars theme is going to you.
Sweet.
You got the Force.
Anytime you get accused of it, I always like to say something like, I can guarantee you won't get abducted by aliens on your way home today. I can guarantee it won't happen.
Those people are looking over their shoulder the whole way home. Yeah. Even when they get into bed that night, they're like, aliens are coming. Joe Davis said it.
Said they won't. 2-0.
My only no-hitter that was semi-significant, not the big leagues, not the minor leagues, in college. Talked about it the whole game.
And then it happened.
Yeah, talked about it the whole game.
Grounded to second, easy play. Muncy 4-0 after 4. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota's national sales event is on. Come and find great ways to save on a new Camry. Good pitching matchup in this game on paper tonight. It's up a couple 10-game winners. And one of the great pitchers in this rivalry's long history did it on both sides of the rivalry. This is Rube Marquardt. I couldn't dig up a picture of him pitching. We get him with a bat here, but he was a pitcher. Rube Marquardt was a great pitcher for both teams. first with the Giants, and then he traded himself to the Dodgers. He wasn't having a very good season. He was sick of the manager, John McGraw, giving him a hard time, and so he asked him to trade him. And McGraw said to him, well, who would take you right now? And Marquardt said, watch this. Give me the phone. So he takes the phone from McGraw. He calls Wilbert Robinson, who was the manager of the Dodgers at the point, had been a coach with the Giants, and put together the deal himself. Traded himself from the Giants to the Dodgers, and his top 6 in rivalry history for both teams in ERA against each other. 4-0 game to the 5th. Sammy Long out of the Giants bullpen. Rookie making his 6th appearance. First one off of the injured list. Missed time with a back injury. And spins ball 1 to Bellinger. The curveball, it's a strike, 1-1. Rube to get his first chance as a pro baseball player. Hopped in trains, like hitchhiked with trains, to get from Cleveland to Iowa to play for a low-level minor league team there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bellinger. And on the way back, he rested at a fire station in Chicago, and when the firefighters found him in there, they said, what are you doing? And he told them his story, and they said, okay. And he said, watch it, I'm going to make the big leagues, and when I do, I'm going to come back here. A few years later, he was in the majors, pitching in Chicago against the White Stockings, and swung on down to that fire station and said, look at me now. Come watch me pitch tonight, fellas. And that was tradition of Rube's throughout the rest of his career. Anytime he was in Chicago, he'd go to that fire station. 2-2. Curve almost came back, but it misses high, and the count is full on Bellinger. Fastball lifted the other way. Back goes Dickerson to the edge of the track. He's got it. And Bellinger's the first out of the 5th. How about what Joey Votto's doing? Have you kept an eye on him at all lately?
I have. He's always in the highlights.
He just hit another home run.
No.
5 straight games with a homer, and each of his last 7 hits have been home runs. Here's Pollock with 1 away. One of my favorite players, Joey Votto.
He's fun to watch.
Want to know on Pollock? So after one of Votto's home runs in recent days, David Bell, his manager, compared him to Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Captain. And so when Votto homered yesterday, when he crossed home plate, he pointed to the name on the back of his jersey, like Jamie Tart does, the young hotshot on Ted Lasso. And they asked him about it afterwards, and Votto said, that was pushback. David called me Roy. That kind of ticked me off. He said, God love Roy, one of the greatest fictional midfielders in Premier League history. But are you kidding me? Have you seen me hit? Are you kidding me? Joey Votto said. Said, I have to be the guy on the way out? No, I'm Jamie Tart. Jamie Tart.
Well, there's a few more episodes out, right?
Yeah, the 2nd season just came out. First couple episodes.
I'm going to let it go through so I can binge watch it.
Full count on Pollock.
No updates on no notifications on my phone about Ted Lasso.
No score updates for AFC Richmond.
I don't want to know.
Long's payoff. Pollock rips another base hit, and he's 3 for 3 tonight. Average well above 400 over a 16-game on-base streak for Pollock.
You're at a hamburger stand. You're like, sir, would you like a triple? No, no, 3 singles.
It's a lot of carbs, though.
You can take the roll off
And make your own triple?
No, have them open faced.
Okay. Here's Beatty, 1 on, 1 out.
All these tight games the Dodgers have played, this one feels like a laugher right now. 4-0. What's this?
Yeah, relative to what it's been the last week.
5 runs in the last 3 games. They got 4 here and not even completed the 5th yet.
7 of the last 8 games, mentioned this earlier. 7 of the last 8 between these teams have been decided by 2 or 1.
Kapler's taking his star out early.
And you hope that that is a strategic move and not related to the foul tip he took square off his mask. Fly to center field, not deep. Duggar comes on and it falls in front of him.
Full swing off the end of the bat, completely fools you in center field. They don't have that extra dimension in center to always read the velocity off the bat. You could see he not only took a step back, then he took 2 sideways and kept his depth. Couldn't come forward fast enough.
Beatty's been on twice, walking out that bloop single. And he gets McKinney to the plate with a couple men on. You know, the more I think about the Posey thing, though, I'm worried about the health side of it for him because it's only 4-0. It's not like it's 10-0.
Yeah.
Where you would pull your star player in the 3rd inning of the game just to get him back in there tomorrow.
It feels like a reach.
Yeah.
A little bit of a reach to think they were that far out in front of it and think this is too.
This is how you can't erase a 4-run lead with 6 innings to go. One 1-0 on Billy McKinney.
It was a shot that he took to the mask. I mean, during the impact, right after the impact, you could see the paint chips coming off of his mask. About 4 or 5 of them.
If it is injury related, the Giants are sitting there saying, really? We're without our first baseman Belt, without our 3rd baseman Longoria, without our shortstop Crawford. Lostello is the biggest offseason pickup from a positional player perspective. We've been without all those guys for extended stretches. It gets away from Casale, but the runners hang on. Let's take one more look at the play in question with Buster Posey. That's as square as you're ever going to see it. I mean, no kind of deflection at all, just a thud and straight down. Two and 2. Pollock is second, Beatty at first. Long to McKinney with a 2-2. It's up by his noggin. Ball 3.
That one was scary because from the center field camera, that ball looks head high the whole way. Yes, it ends up high. Looks like it's a change-up grip that just slipped out. It would have grazed the top of his helmet.
The 3-2 taken low. The bases are loaded. Third walk of the game for the Dodgers to go along with their 9 hits. And the hitter is Buehler. What's it at now? 0 for 18 for the pitchers?
Yes, 0 for 18 with 14 strikeouts.
Now's the time, man. They're due.
Yeah, very due. Walker is one of the guys that can swing it.
Just ask him.
He's got a home run. This would be a granny. Not when you're bailing.
Setting him up. Taking BP the other day, had a particularly good round, a round that he felt particularly good about. And he came out saying, "You can't buy hands like these at Walmart."
Okay.
1-1 pitch. Pulled the string on him. 1-2.
He knows his reputation. He's got to change speeds with him. Infield in. An RBI out there. I wonder if a pitcher's average goes up 150 points or so like a regular when they're putting the infield in. I doubt it.
Maybe 50. 1-2. Got him swinging. Round number 2.
You got to make contact for your average to go up. High changeup out in front.
Well, this is not an insignificant at-bat here for Chris Taylor. Dodgers feeling good about themselves with a 4-run third, but chance to tack on. Bases loaded. 2 gone. Taylor 0 for 2 tonight. Long catches the inside corner with a fastball. It's 0-1. Taylor trying to extend a 7-game hitting streak. 5 homers and 3 doubles over those 7 games. Tonight he scored after drawing a walk in the 3rd. Bases loaded in the 5th and 0-1 from Long. Fastball ripped on the line but caught it short by Estrada. And so the Dodgers leave him loaded in the 5th, halfway home 4-0.
Francisco. Yesterday we saw Clayton Kershaw pitch a simulated game. He faced 2 hitters. Afterwards he told me he felt really good and he was hoping that the next step would be activation. But today Dave Roberts told us that on Sunday he will likely pitch another simulated game at Camelback Ranch, and then the following weekend against the Angels we could see him activated in that series.
All right, Kirsten. Tonight it's Buehler. He's given up just 1 hit over 4 shutout innings. His first one to Darren Ruff here in the 5th is in there. Strike 1. Andrew Friedman has talked about the Dodgers looking for starting pitching in the trade market. Be an interesting next 48 hours or so leading up to the deadline. With July 31st falling on the weekend this year, the deadline is the 30th, Friday. Of course, the big fish out there would be Max Scherzer. Question is, will the Nationals make him available? If they do, will Scherzer waive his no-trade clause? Reports have him, if he's willing to waive the no-trade clause, being interested in coming to one of the teams in the West. Ruff gets up on top of it and bangs a base hit into center to open the 5th.
If he actually chose your team and just said, let's say, I will go to the Dodgers, it changes his trade value for the Nats. So all of a sudden, they're kind of, we want to trade him. They're kind of backed into the corner of he's telling them where he wants to go, and now you negotiate for the players to the closest value you can get for what you expected.
Word is the Nationals are trying to collect offers in advance of the deadline, day or two in advance, so they have time to work it out with Scherzer. It's a strike on Jason Vossler. But that is the one really, really big fish available in terms of starting pitching. There's some good ones out there, but he'd be the real game changer. Grounder up the middle. Taylor to the bag. He'll throw to first, a double play. Second one turned by the Dodgers behind Buehler tonight.
Well, at this point in the game, with Walker Buehler on the mound, only 65 pitches, 2 outs on 1 pitch, and being able to get closer to the end of a very quick inning. Another way for the Dodgers maybe to get 1 less inning out of the bullpen. And that's important not only in this game, if they're effective to get the W, but for tomorrow, the day game.
2 gone, bases empty. Tyro Estrada takes a curve for a strike. Lamont Wade Jr. ready to hit for the pitcher if he gets there. Now a slider, curved and a slider, but 0-2. Well, the Giants have had 4 base runners tonight. 2 of them have been quickly erased by double play groundouts. Buehler working quickly, delivers an 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1. John Brebbia, one of the great beards in the division. Estrada line to left his first time. On this 2-2 from Buehler. He watches a fastball at the knees for strike 3. 5 zeros put up by Walker Buehler. He faces the minimum here in the 5th on just 11 pitches. The box score tonight brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. The Dodgers getting 4 runs in the 3rd. After Buehler grounded out to start the inning, they got a walk from Taylor, 3 straight hits from Muncy, Turner, and Smith, with Smith's triple being the key swing in that inning. They added 1 on a base hit from A.J. Pollock, one of his 3 hits in this game. Dave Roberts' team trying to even the series up and get back to within 2 in the division.
We want to play a little better than 500 ball on this road trip, and especially taking 2 in San Francisco.
2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Muncy to lead it off. A couple of hits for him tonight. Hey, so cheese, fastball as cheese.
Yep.
Getting a lot of help from the internet. That big curveball lands for a strike from Long. Dennis Eckersley is credited with being the first to use it to describe his fastball. Okay, it was in the mid-80s apparently, the first reference of him using that.
Okay.
But then back in the 19th century, people would say
Eckersley's not that old.
No, it's a different one. Cheese would be a word that they would use to express the highest quality. So, for example, that's the cheese. Like, that's sweet.
Little slang.
Yeah. Grounded his second. Flores will throw Muncy out. Like, that car is the cheese, man. Dang, those shoes are the cheese. The beard's the cheese.
My wife is the cheese.
That's an interesting take. Turner 1 for 3. Never know RBI in the 4-run 3rd. cheese for strike. Oh, and 2.
Justin with an 0-2 count, got a very late time call there. Jim Wolf had a brother that pitched in the big league, Randy Wolf.
Ground ball to third. Vossler had an error earlier on a grounder from Turner. Comes up strong here for out number 2.
Baseball's great, but it's even cheesier with fireworks. You're looking to see if that's on the script.
You added it.
Be at Dodger Stadium Friday, August 6th, when the Dodgers host the Angels at 7:10, and stay after the game for Friday night fireworks presented by Q-Cells. You can also experience another great view of the pyro display from the newly designed Center Field Plaza. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. I love it when you're scoring and you've got a smile on your face.
Strike one on Will Smith. The biggest swing in that third inning, a 2-run triple.
It was on a fastball away, and boy, did he stay on it and hit it to right center.
One of the worst home run parks in baseball, but one of the best triples parks. 1-1 from Long. Smith takes it up. Ball 2.
Even after they've moved the fences in.
A little high. Moved it in from it's 421 to 415. So in a few feet out there in right center. Almost hit Smith. He's aboard. Either way, third time he's been on tonight. And now Bellinger is trying to reach for the first time. He's the lone position player yet to reach. 1 for 34 now against the Giants. You know, the original dimensions there, it was former President Peter McGowan's creation in an ode to the old Polo Grounds. The crazy dimensions there was 450 to the gaps, over 480 to center. Not quite that extreme, but a modern day nod to it.
Kind of like Tal's Hill in Houston.
Mm-hmm. That was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, watching him run up that hill. I'm surprised the Players Association okayed that.
Right.
They didn't after a while.
A strike on Bellinger.
The Will Smith at bat was he reached base by hit by pitch.
Okay, officially.
Yep. No, just me. I made the call.
I'm going to copy your scorecard nonetheless. One ball, one strike. Webby is still getting ready. Long comes home. Bellinger fouls it off. 2-2. Smith at first, 2-2 pitch. Bellinger swings and misses on a middle fastball to end the inning. It stays 4-0 to the bottom of the sixth. In baseball, there's a lot of room in there. Dodgers 4, Giants nothing to the bottom of the sixth. Walker Buehler's given up just 2 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 2.
Walker with the pitch count to where it's at 70. Thrown 70%. Hard stuff. He is really late on that stuff. And when he mixes in the soft stuff, you know, the fastball is a 2-seamer or a 4-seamer, and the other hard stuff is the cutter, and it's been exceptional. That's the bender.
Lamont Wade Jr. pinch hitting out of the 9 spot to open this inning. He's been on a tear, but yesterday went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. And finds himself quickly 0-2 off of the bench here. Buehler had the one really long inning. He needed 24 pitches in the third, but he's averaged 11 pitches otherwise. Kicks and deals 0-2. The changeup gets Wade looking on a generous outside corner from Jim Wolf. So Wade in this series 0 for 5, 5 Ks.
A lot of movement on this pitch. 91-mile-an-hour changeup.
Strikeout number 5, 5 more, and everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. Dodgers 4, Giants nothing. All the scoring coming in the third. Top of the order, and Yastrzemski punches one against the shift. Another changeup. This one is knocked into left for a 1-out hit. And for Yastrzemski, it snaps an 0 for 16.
Walker got what he wanted. Weak contact, early possible out. Just found that big hole over there on the left side.
What was Posey's spot to begin the game? This is now Casale. Struck out his first time, coming in for Posey. No official word from the Giants yet for Posey's removal. Got this one off the end of the bat, and so no big deal for Beatty. Casale's on number 2. Dodgers 4, Giants nothing. Runner at first, 2 gone. And here's Alex Dickerson, who's 0 for 2 in this one. Takes ball 1 from Buehler. The son of a fighter pilot in the Navy. The grandson of a fighter pilot in World War II. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Can't take anything for granted against these Giants. The way some of these late innings have gone in this stretch of games. Losing the last 4 out of 5 against the Giants, and a lot of them are heartbreakers.
Each of the last 3 losses against San Francisco had a lead late, or at least tied going into the 8th. Changeup comes back to the zone, and it's 2-2. And prior to the final 2 games of the series at Dodger Stadium last week, we mentioned this last night, but the Giants hadn't had back-to-back 9th-inning comeback wins over the Dodgers in 104 years. 1917 at the aforementioned Polo Grounds. Did it one day, doubleheader.
I like what we're seeing from Walker here because he's really established the hard stuff tonight. But here we are, you know, 4-0, man on. They can cut the lead in half, and he's trying to kind of trick Dickerson instead of like, okay, it's still going to be hard stuff. Go ahead and try and time it. If I make a mistake, your bat's going to be in the right place. You can get burned a little bit. He's mixing in the changeup, the curveball, the cutter, coming up and in.
97, one of the hardest pitches tonight.
Great shot too. Wow, just right on the target. You know he's in a great rhythm with just great timing with the release, because he has one of the hardest balls he's thrown all night and one of the most accurate balls. And that combination, if you get to a point where you're starting to get a little tired going for the extra mile, your mechanics can start to fall apart when you go for the extra velocity.
Breaking ball in the dirt, gets away from Smith, and Dickerson will reach.
Outstanding curveball, probably will get graded as a wild pitch. Will Smith trying to help his pitcher out. Just takes a kick where he can't get square to it. Goes off his thigh and just elevates up on the screen.
And he kept alive for the one guy Buehler is yet to retire tonight. Flores, a walk and a single. Slider to the corner, strike one. Oracle Park for one of the first times tonight starting to rise in volume. Buehler trying to pour some water on these little flames Giants are putting up. Yastrzemski at second, Dickerson at first, and an 0-1 coming. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Bellinger with a call and the catch. Giants strand 2 through a 6. It's 4-0 Dodgers. In the third inning, here we go to the 7th. 4-0 as A.J. Pollock gets ready to bat. The subject of our Landover Performance Spotlight. He's gone 3 for 3, easily extending the on-base streak to 16 games. And now a chance at his second 4-hit game this year.
16 games. He is well over 400 now, and he has not gotten any lucky ones. He's hitting the ball hard every one of his at-bats.
Beatty and McKinney to follow in this inning. Giants going with a new pitcher, John Brebbia, on to handle the 7th. And tonight where the bullpen is getting used heavily. Anthony DeSclafani goes just 2 2/3. So Brebbia, the third pitcher out of the bullpen. Dodgers got him for a couple runs and 2/3 of an inning last week at Dodger Stadium. Got off to a great start with the Giants, but a little more gettable lately.
He's been outstanding this year against left-handed batters. Only a 174 batting average against, but righties are hitting him 452.
And if OPS is more your cup of tea, that's above 1,200 for righties. Or anything above 1,000 is elite. A.J. Pollock, a right-handed hitter, watches a pinpoint fastball. Strike one. What a month it's been for Pollock. July's always been his best month. This one particularly good. Average over the 16-game on-base streak, 431. And he's done it tonight with all singles, but throughout the month he's done it with power. 7 home runs, 7 doubles this month. Ahead in this one, 2 balls, 1 strike. He's stolen a couple bases over the last week. He'd only stolen 2 over the first few months. And he's playing center field with Bellinger playing first. On a 2-1 from John Brebbia. Pollock fouls it back and out of play. 2-2. It's up to 289 on the year. .289 in a year where the major league average is .241.
He's always been a player that can really get hot and carry a team. This is a team with enough talent that he doesn't need to carry him, but with all the injuries, they have really needed his bat to be this productive.
Ouch.
Right in the small of the back.
Boy, you hear that thing.
Well, hopefully got him on the belt. Right on the belt, there's a little more padding. Nope. Got him right on the handle.
It's a bruised handle now.
Yeah, you're going to have that one for a while.
They got the elbow guards, they got the shin guards. Come out tomorrow with a quarterback flak jacket. Beatty a walk and a bloop single. Rips one down the line, foul. Just back to the conversation about Pollock not hitting .289. Normally that's good, but not noteworthy. Well, there's only 6 qualifiers in the National League hitting .300 this year. And again, the league average is .241. So .289, you're knocking on the door of the top 10 in the National League with that average. And he's leading the National League in slugging this month. Beatty cracks one off the hand, short left field. Estrada out to make the play. One gone in the 7th. For McKinney. Off the corner, 0-1. Oh, 0-2.
Walker Buehler on deck. The rhythm of the Dodger offense with him on deck. If they don't hit into a double play right here, Dave Roberts can really look at the scoreboard and how Walker feels on the complete decision on how long he'll go in this game. He gets the at bat this inning. Can look at going deeper into the game and not feeling any pressure about, am I going to need to get some more runs and hit for him.
So 84 pitches through 6.
He's been over 100 4 or 5 times this year, 113 max. Seems like he always goes 6 innings at least.
19 out of the 20.
Yep.
And now 20 out of the 21. 0-2 from Brebbia to McKinney. Ball 1. McKinney pulls one down the line. That's a base hit into the corner. Yastrzemski over to grab it. Pollock easily goes first to third. McKinney's reached for the second time in this one. Hit to go along with his walk. And the Dodgers are at the corners with 1 out.
His on base percentage is 6 games now with the Dodgers in the high 300s, so very respectable. He's starting to get a few hits to add on to the 4 walks he's got. Might be up to 5 walks at the walk he had earlier tonight.
Confirmed.
Thank you. Shifted into new math, like adding 1 when he gets one.
Yeah. The arithmetic. First and third, 1 gone. The hitter's Buehler. Bunts it foul. A little safety squeeze out. The hit, by the way, from McKinney was the 6th 2-strike hit for the Dodgers tonight. Giants are not a high strikeout staff. They have been able to put the Dodgers away tonight. Normally, even though they don't get a lot of strikeouts, they don't walk anybody, and there's not a lot of great contact against them. The Dodgers 4 runs on 10 hits. Some solid contact included. Buehler squaring again. This time he took it outside. Ball 1.
A.J. Pollock is taking a very strong secondary lead in case Walker gets the bunt down. He's got to be heads up if he would bunt through it for a strike. There's no back pick.
In the dirt. Ball 2. Caselli keeps it in the area.
The most basic play right here is just to sacrifice the runner from first to second. The next play would be to sacrifice the runner plus add in the safety squeeze. Tell Pollock, if he reads it correctly, to go home. And then the most aggressive is now to turn it into a suicide squeeze.
Swings away, bouncer to third. Vossler coming home. It's a tag play, but the ball comes out of his glove. Pollock in to score, and the Dodgers lead 5-0.
It was going to be bang bang. The throw might have been there in time. It gets into the leather, but it doesn't stay in the leather. First and third, 1 out. You're moving at both bases with the ground ball. You don't want them to be able to turn a double play and not score the run. No, it never only touched leather, not ever got in the catcher's glove of Casali.
You're right about it being bang bang. You really need to slow that down to see had he caught it. The Dodgers get their first run since the third. Chance for more here. First and second, top of the order, and Chris Taylor. Taylor's still working to extend the hitting streak past 7. 0 for 3. Did score after walking in the third inning. Takes one high. Ball 1. Official ruling, by the way, is a fielder's choice for Buehler with an RBI, his 3rd of the year.
Pitchers don't come out of their slump, but they get a ribeye steak.
Take a ribeye steak any day of the week. On the infield, who wants it? Not Brebbia, Vossler. Watch Brebbia bail. Gone.
A lot of traffic down there. Not only players and a pitcher, but the mask.
Muncy has 2 of the 10 Dodger hits tonight.
Dodgers with as many runs in 6 2/3 as they've had over the last 3 games prior. When I say hits, I meant runs. 5 runs. Some production. Here we go. Maybe they get hot.
Another game coming less than 24 hours. Ball 1 on Muncy. Even though they've only scored 5 over the previous 3 games, they won 2 of them because they only allowed 4.
Yeah.
It's now 4 runs allowed in the last 4 games if you include this one. Two on, 2 out, and a 1-0 pitch. Ball 2.
7th game in a row where they've gotten really good starting pitching.
Started with Julio last week against the Giants. It was on Wednesday. Continued to the Rockies series. Arias was really good last night.
Big breaking ball. A lot more wind last night.
Once he had one to hit there, fouled it back.
Two little breaking balls to the last 2 hitters that they're both frustrated with. Muncy's still up there. Chris Taylor on that pop-up missed one that he was frustrated that he popped up.
Two 1. Swings through a fastball. 2-2. McKinney at second, Buehler at first, and a 2-2 pitch. Muncy hits it on a line, deep center field. Duggar will turn and watch it hit off the very base of the wall. McKinney and easily. Buehler's headed home, and Estrada's throw will go into second. 2-run double for Max Muncy, and they've broken it open 7-0 here in the 7th. Well, Buehler coming around from first, and a howl as he crossed home.
This is a blast. He gets another small breaking ball in the middle of the plate. One he fouled back. This one is all but not fouled back. That is a bullet. Like Will Smith's triple, that double by Muncy. Both of them in the same area.
3rd hit of the game for Max Muncy, joining A.J. Pollock with 3 hits tonight. And now Turner, who's 1 for 4. The Rams over the 49ers right now. 7-0.
First quarter.
Yeah, it's an early score.
Yeah.
Late 3rd quarter, though, at the stage of the game.
Yeah.
Muncy, by the way, now with 12 runs driven in 13 games against San Francisco.
No one up in the Dodger bullpen, but I would expect Walker Buehler maybe just one more. We'll see what Dave Roberts thinks. A lot of guys down there just kind of walking around, starting to stretch. Now with the lead stretched out a little bit, you might want to think about Walker long term and his usage. But you also have in the equation the day game tomorrow, and having enough rested arms for that.
Turner sends one in the air to deep center field, sending Duggar back, but with room to end the inning. Dodgers add 3, and we stretch in a 7-0 game in San Francisco.
The Dodgers have been in good hands all night with Walker Buehler. 6 Ks through 6 innings. He hasn't gotten a lot of swings and misses, only 5s, but he's pitching to contact and getting it done early. Only 2 3-ball counts. Those strikeouts, 3 on fastballs, 2 on curveballs, and 1 on the changeup.
84 pitches as he goes back out there for the 7th to face Steven Duggar. Dodgers 7, Giants nothing. 4 runs in the 3rd, 3 runs in the 7th, 6 shutout innings from Walker Buehler as they attempt to even this series up. Set up a chance to win the series tomorrow. Try to shift the mood. Ball and a strike on Duggar. Giants enter the day with a 3-game lead. When this series ends, only 3 head-to-head meetings left. 9 still with the Padres.
Giants were trying to get some padding in this series, and the Dodgers were trying to make it tight. It'll probably all come down to tomorrow on which team accomplishes that goal. It's either going to be 1 game or 3 games if this score holds.
Giants and Padres are going to play a bunch down the stretch. 7 times over the last 16 games. It's going to be some fun scoreboard watching, isn't it?
It sure is.
And the Padres come to Dodger Stadium for 3 in the final homestand. Games 157 through 159, and then a few with the first place Brewers to finish. Buehler delivers 1-2. Best start by far he's had on his birthday. A couple clunkers the last 2 years on his birthday. 90th pitch. Wrapped on the ground to second from Muncy. 1 away. $33,000 tonight at Oracle Park. Places seats a little more than 40. Mid-50s temperatures.
I love that temperature to play baseball in.
Yeah.
It's just cool enough to just easy to keep your energy up. Not any wind chill factor really tonight. Maybe for a little bit for the outfielders. Good sleeve weather.
1-1 on Darren Ruff.
If you're in between starts, you need a little coffee to stay awake on the bench. Coffee's good.
Fastball caught the corner, 1-2.
We didn't have energy drinks back in the day, so in the day game it's a lot easier now, huh, to get a little energy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We had to go like iced coffee.
Nothing wrong with that though.
No. I think some of these energy drinks are a little more potent.
Ruff went around. That is strikeout number 7 for Walker Buehler. Out number 2 here in the 7th inning. Gets you a monster, gets you a bang.
Just a sip of that bang for me, please.
You're talking the bang shot, though.
Yeah.
You hold the whole can of it. You'll be all right. Vossler. 1-0. 1-0. It's creatine in bang, though, so you get Jack player drinking it.
I'll start alternating which arm I put my backpack on. I don't want to get bulked up on one side or the other.
That's right.
I'll walk in a circle.
A whiff and 1-2. Walker Buehler on a night where the Dodgers needed him to do what he's done all year. He took it up a notch. 6 2/3 shutout innings. 1-2 on Jason Vossler. 7 Ks, 2 walks. Giants only had 3 hits against him. All of them singles. Nods with a sign, delivers 1-2. Went around, strike 3. 8 Ks for Walker Buehler and 7 shutout innings on his 27th birthday. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. It's the 30-year anniversary of Dennis Martinez's perfect game at Dodger Stadium. First Nicaraguan-born big leaguer, first pitcher born outside the U.S. to throw a perfect game. Been over 200 no-hitters in baseball history. That's one of the 23 perfect games. Will Smith pops the first John Brebbia pitch of this 8th inning into shallow center field. Flores going out. Duggar coming on, puts it away. Been a 9-year gap, though. The last perfect game. It's amazing with offense as bad as it's been ever in terms of batting average, run production. It's been a perfect game since there were 3 of them in 2012. You look pretty darn good tonight. Wasn't perfect, but 7 shutout innings, 8 strikeouts, and a 7-0 lead here in the 8th. Bellinger looking to reach for the first time. He's the only starter that hasn't. He hooks one down the line towards the pole, way back there and gone. Bellinger with a home run, and the Dodgers lead 8-0. The 5th for Bellinger as he continues to make progress, trying to get his season on track.
Breaking ball down and in that he collapsed the legs to go down and reach and gets underneath it. A lot of encouragement from the skipper right there and his teammates to try and get the star locked in. Breaking ball, same type of one that Muncy hit so hard to center field. Bellinger pulls this one, and it's got plenty of distance. Real close to a Bellinger jersey.
Yeah. Eight nothing in the 8th. Then A.J. Pollock another chance at his 4th hit. After the first home run for Cody Bellinger since July 10th. And his 5th one in 2021. That reception back in the dugout. A bunch of guys happy for their buddy. And a bunch of guys happy because they know their team has to have that guy produce.
When Cody gets locked in, they can jump on his back. Like about 7 other hitters in the lineup too when they're hot. They all know he needs that. Even Uncle Albert with a big hug.
That's become customary. What a reward for a home run. You get a big hug from Albert Pujols.
And you hope that John Suhu gets a picture of it so you can have it in your office or your game room, your man cave someday.
Hit a lot of them and then just have a really long embrace. Give Suhu a lot of chances. Here's a fly ball to left center field off of the bat of Pollock that Dickerson will run down. And they retire AJ for the first time tonight. Hitting a walk for Beatty. First pitch swinging. Back of third, Vossler. That'll do it for the Dodgers in the 8th, but they add one and a Cody Bellinger homer. 8-0 to the bottom half.
Cruising in San Francisco up 8-0. The birthday boy Walker Buehler. Ned, you called your shot. He's been great tonight.
I really kind of understated it. I thought 1 earned run in 7. No earned runs.
We'll break it down right after the game. See you soon.
Way off, Ned. 7 shutout innings for Buehler tonight. Ned was on it. Predicted a good one from the birthday boy, and the Dodgers got it. Now Mitch White comes on for his first appearance in the big league since July 7th.
Important for Mitch to have a nice solid outing. Important for nobody else in the bullpen to have to get up.
Thairo Estrada leads this 8th inning off out of the 8th spot. Hacks the first one foul. So White making an appearance not too far from his hometown of San Jose. Good slider, got it off the end of the bat. Candy bounce Taylor. Estrada really flies up that line, made it close, but he's out, 1 gone.
It's time for some crosstown baseball. Get your tickets to see the Dodgers host the Angels for a weekend series beginning on Friday, August 6th, day after the game for Friday night fireworks presented by Q-Cells, or come early on Sunday for a Viva Los Dodgers celebration in the Center Field Plaza. Presented by Coca-Cola and Spectrum. To purchase your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/tickets.
Mike Tauchman pinch hits out of the 9th spot. Base is empty, 1 away. Hey, the Detroit Tigers today got out homered 7-0 and won.
It's got to be some kind of record.
In fact, it is.
Okay.
First time in Major League history a team has hit 7 home runs and lost. First time in Major League history a team has allowed 7 home runs and won. 17-14. They beat the Twins. 1-1 on Tauchman. Tigers had 17 runs on 16 hits, but no homers. Strike 2 on Tauchman. They almost blew a 10-run lead.
A lot of storylines there.
Man. George Lombard, the bench coach there. Old Dodger first base coach. And the Tigers doing some things. They started 9-24. They're 40-31 since that point.
George is always a great teacher, and I'm sure there are a lot of Tigers over there learning from him.
1-2 from White. A foul ball from Tauchman. The division's kind of a runaway, though. White Sox out in front. Same thing in the West. The American League, the Astros have opened up a 6-game lead over the A's. The American League East and the National League West are the only two compelling division races right now. White delivers a 2-2, and Tauchman slaps a base hit to left. No pinch hit base hit for Mike Tauchman, just the 4th hit of the night for the Giants. Back to the top of the order in Yastrzemski. Of course, Mike is known as the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski, but learned the game from his father, who passed away when Mike was young. His dad, Mike, played collegiately at Florida State, played in the minors. And it was his dad that he promised that he would finish his degree before turning pro, something that his dad hadn't done at Florida State, and hoped that if his son had a chance to, would do. And he did that to fulfill that promise to his dad. Degree in crime and society. Fouls this one back, stays at 0-2. Floated to left. Beatty's there for out number 2. Here's Casale with the runner at first and 2 gone. 8-0 Dodgers in the 8th.
Whenever Casale comes to the plate, I think about Buster Posey, and with no report on his health, so hopefully he was removed for just rest.
Casale said Posey is a big reason why he chose to come to San Francisco. It's only a year and a half younger, but he says it feels like he's been looking up to him, admiring him for a long time. Posey broke in at such an early age. I think I told you this earlier this year, but Casale said when he signed with the Giants, he plans on getting a Posey jersey signed and hanging that in a very prominent spot in his future office, man cave. One of the other reasons he signed with him is his relationship with Mike Yastrzemski, one of his best buddies back to their days at Vanderbilt. Actually, Casale hosted Yastrzemski on his official recruiting visit. He says did all the things on a college visit you're not supposed to talk about. Had a good time. They're groomsmen in each other's weddings. Both live in Nashville in the off seasons these days. They've lived together during spring training before in Arizona. And then a third guy that's been influential for Curt Casale is Evan Longoria, who took Curt under his wing when Curt debuted in the majors with Tampa Bay. A check swing tapper back to White, who's got himself a scoreless 8th inning as he feathers that thing over there. We've played 8 in San Francisco, all Dodgers in this one. Calendar looks like this after tomorrow's day game. Price against Cueto, 3 games in Arizona, off on Monday, and then the Houston Astros come to Dodger Stadium for a 2-game set Tuesday and Wednesday. Another off day Thursday. Shohei Ohtani and the Angels coming on Friday for a weekend set. It's Dominic Leone on to handle the 9th inning for San Francisco. Dodgers with 4 in the 3rd, 3 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th. Finally a game where they can breathe easy in the late innings.
Definitely a laugher right now, and time to relax and start thinking about tomorrow. Once you get 3 more outs against the Giants, they're going to go after Leone right now. His only Achilles heel this year has been lately. He's been missing the strike zone, but he is shutting people down. 18 of the last 22 games with San Francisco, zeros.
Dodgers with those 8 runs tonight on a bunch of hits, few walks. Offense coming alive after scoring just 5 over the last 3 games. It's McKinney to lead it off. He's got a hit and a walk. One of the 12 hits. First one from Leone is low and ball 1 on McKinney. First time the Dodgers will see Johnny Cueto this year tomorrow.
Always fun to watch him pitch. All the different deliveries, mannerisms, facial expressions. Yeah, he's a treat.
These games continue to mean so much. The obvious hunt for the division title. The close to as obvious trying to avoid the wild card game. It looks like you will get another team from the West. One of these teams will be the 1 seed the way it's headed right now. And the other 2 are going to go head to head. Things can change over the final couple months, but that certainly looks like it's where it's headed.
There could be some very exciting times in the Dodger dugout, Dodger locker room, that travel to Arizona over the next 48 hours if they can pull within 1 of the Giants and also see what happens at the trade deadline.
Kenny's out number 1. Think about that 1-game playoff, 1-game wild card, which you hope to avoid like heck. You'd feel good if Buehler was going. If the Dodgers were in that game. You would probably face, and this is if everything could line up, Kevin Gausman. If you are facing San Diego, Yu Darvish.
Yep. But if all 3 teams are battling to avoid that right down to the very end, you're not going to be able to juggle your rotation.
0-2 on White.
If you're thinking about it, you could get guys in order to pitch the last game of the season, and then if it doesn't matter, you could push that guy back. So you schedule Walker Buehler to pitch the 2nd or last game of the season, and then if they don't need it and you're going to end up in that game, you save him. It'll be very interesting. Could be Julio, could be Walker, could be Clayton Kershaw. Well, maybe it's Max Scherzer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you might have 4 choices.
It could be said for any of the 3 teams they're having a conversation.
Tony Gonsolin. I can guarantee you that if you're in the wild card game and you're a starter and you don't look like you have it, you won't be there very long.
El Bencho.
Yeah.
El Fasto.
Yep. What's that? 3-hitter minimum? Okay, you're out.
Two and 2 on White. You know, the final day of the 1966 regular season, the Dodgers had Sandy Koufax, kind of like you mentioned, on standby if they had to have him. And it shook out where they did. They needed to win that last game of the year, and so went out and pitched a complete game win. To win him the pennant, as White takes strike 3. All kinds of injuries. Fought his way through it and pitched him to the pennant on that day. Here comes Chris Taylor with the Dodgers up 8-0.
Walker Buehler in line for his 11th win. He still has a chance at 20. He could have 11, 12 more starts left. If he gets the 19, gets lined up for the second to last day of the regular season, or last day of the regular season, and go, Walker, we're going to skip you because we clinched. We're going to the playoffs. But I got 19.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go over.
I think you're going to pitch the first game of the playoffs. 19's a good number.
Last chance for Taylor to extend his 7-game hitting streak. It's a big bounce to third. Backs up Jason Vossler. Quick trigger, and it gets by Ruff. We'll see.
It's not routine, and it is bang bang. If it's caught, he might have been out by a step, but I don't think it could have been a tie, and they have ruled it a hit.
All right, so the hitting streak is 8 games for Taylor. 1 for 5 tonight. But a good night for Max Muncy, who's got 3 hits. He's driven into and scored a run. And here he is again. And Pollock with a couple tries for a 4th hit. Muncy now gets a try. Takes a ball. Grounded to second. Flores is there. That's that for the Dodgers in the 9th. 3 outs away from even in this series at a game apiece. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover dealers. Back in San Francisco, the Dodgers 8, the Giants nothing. If this score were to hold up, this would be the largest margin of victory in a Dodger-Giant game this year. 2nd inning of work for Mitch White. They're talking about the chance that Buehler or even perhaps Urias reaches 20 wins this season. Last time a Dodger did it was Clayton Kershaw in 2014. The last time anybody did it in the National League, Max Scherzer, 2016. It's been 5 years. 3, 4, and 5. Alex Dickerson takes ball 1.
It feels like a long time. That's a big gap between 20-game winners on any team.
Yeah, in the National League, yep. Verlander and Cole, 2019, both won 20. Snell and Kluber, 2018. Jay Happ won 20 games for the Blue Jays in 16. Gets a swing and a miss on a high fastball. Count evens 2-2. Dribbler in front of the plate. Will Smith pounces on it and throws Dickerson out. The Dodgers with a 4 spot in the 3rd inning, and even with their recent issues holding leads, you had to feel pretty good at that point with Walker Buehler on the mound, what he's done this year, how he looked through the first few innings before that. They added 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th for good measure. And here they are with 1 gone in the 9th, up 8-0. Strike 1 on Wilmer Flores.
Mitch White's done a nice job with his fastball tonight. There's not as many that are thigh high. When he's gone up, he's gone up. When he's gone down, he's gone down. And it's finding that happy medium of staying away from that thigh high pitches that can be successful in the minor leagues, but they are easily hit here at the big league level. And with the modern swing, the correct height is really almost more important than the inside or outside.
One-two comes home, and Flores shoots a high drive to right field, but playable for Billy McKinney, and the Giants are down to their last out. Again, remind you, tomorrow is a lunchtime game. 12:30 as David Price and Johnny Cueto face off in the rubber match. Dodgers will have a chance to draw to within a game of the Giants. I mean, that becomes just a massively big game. 1 versus 3. Depending on the outcome of that game, where the Dodgers will sit in the standings going into the month of August. Release into the final day of July, final couple days of July. Top of the zone, strike one on Duggan. A rare season where these two teams have been pretty much neck and neck the whole way. What do the final couple months have in store between these two? Only 4 head-to-head matchups, but a lot of scoreboard watching. 0-2, flipped into left for a 2-out base hit. First hit of the night for Steven Duggar, keeps the night going a little longer. And the Dodgers with this win will move to 3.5 ahead of the Padres. Giants will be 5.5 ahead of them. And again, they play a bunch over the final few weeks. Dodgers play the Padres 9 times over the final month and a half. Ruff fouls it off, strike one. These games have been so good, so compelling the last week and a half that it's easy to forget how great those matchups for the Padres have been.
These games have been more businesslike and tight right down to the wire. The Padre-Dodger games have been a little bit more flamboyant. A little bit more energy. I think it's just the style of play of the Padres. That swag chain.
Yeah. Just picturing these ones like a really nice trim suit with the tie done perfectly, double wins or not. Whereas the Dodger Padre games have kind of been collar, the top button undone, tie undone a little bit, sweating on the dance floor.
Big flamboyant pocket square. Bigger than what Steve Harvey wears on Family Feud.
Both good, just different.
Yeah.
The Giants again down to the last strike. 1-2 from White to Ruff. Spoils that slider. We'll do it one more time. At least.
Dave Roberts will sleep a lot better tonight. It'll be a little shorter sleep, but they wake up in a good mood.
Get some Phil's coffee in you there in San Francisco and get after it again. Another 1-2 from White. That is not a foul ball. Smith tracks it down, throws to first, and ends the game. 8-0 the final score. The Dodgers back to within 2 of the Giants in the West.
Walker Buehler's show, but the offense did not get upstaged at all. They were dynamic, and it was a few guys that got it done.
8 runs on 13 hits in this game for the Dodgers as they cruise and give Walker Buehler his 11th win of the year. So tomorrow will be the series rubber match. If the Dodgers win, they exit San Francisco within a game of the Giants. If they lose, they'd be 3 back. So it's a big one. Price against Cueto, 12:30 tomorrow. For Orel Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from San Francisco, and we'll talk to you in a few hours.